Alright, so here's something I just discovered, and that is um, if you go to the More Actions link for your electronic collection and you select Edit Service and go to Linking, if I have this on Proxy Enabled No, and I have this selected just like that, that means that I would have to go to my portfolio list, and for each of these things, like let's look at Ray Bradbury, let's go to More Actions and Test Access and look at what happens. It takes me here. Okay, I could fix that by going to Ray Bradbury. I'm going to select that one and do an Edit Portfolio. And when you go to Linking, notice it says Proxy Enabled No. I would have to click Yes, and I would have to click Open Athens and save that. And I would have to do that for all 570 of these portfolio links, which is a lot of work. Or I can just click More Actions, Edit Service, and go to Linking, and from this Electronic Service Editor page, select Proxy Enabled Yes and Open Athens. Now if I hit Save, I don't have to go to every single individual portfolio and change the link. So let's look at a few of those. Okay. So here's one I wouldn't have changed. J.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. When I go to Edit Portfolio and Linking, you'll see it says Proxy Enabled No. I didn't change it to Yes and Open Athens. But because I went to edit the whole service and edited the proxy to say yes, and then the service, whatever it said, Open Athens from the drop-down menu, it gets me to this page. So that way I just saved myself having to go to each one of these electronic portfolio editor pages and click yes and then click Open Athens. And that saves you a lot of work. So just to refresh, what I just said was from here, click More Actions, Edit Service, Linking, and from this Electronic Service Editor page, you're going to do Proxy Enabled Yes and Proxy Selected Open Athens, and then make sure you save it. Alright, so you have a Electronic Service Editor page when you do Edit Service right here, or you can do Edit Collection, Additional, and there's something called Electronic Collection Editor, okay, and you also have these choices for Proxy Enabled, and you have Electronic Portfolio Editor. Alright, so basically here's the three things. You've got Electronic Portfolio Editor, Collection Editor, and Service Editor. And so if I select the Proxy Yes and Open Athens on the Service Editor, and I also have that on the Collection Editor, it looks like it doesn't matter what you have selected on the Portfolio Editor. So it's like you got to do the Service Editor and the Collection Editor, and it looks like at that point you can just ignore whatever's on the Portfolio Editor. At least that's what it appears to me. So here's an example of that. This is the Electronic Portfolio Editor page, and I have it at Proxy Enabled No. But on the, again, I have No on the Portfolio Editor, but I have it set to be Yes on the Collection Editor and Yes on the Service Editor page. So what happens if I have that? What happens is if I test access to this thing, it should work as it should. It's going to redirect me using Open Athens. So basically the most important thing is you've got to have your proxy on the Service Editor and the Collection Editor matching, And it doesn't matter what you have on the portfolio editor. Portfolio editor doesn't have to match these other two things. But service editor and collection editor need to be the same. And for Infobase, it needs to say the following. You need to have proxy enabled yes and proxy selected open Athens. And then you can just ignore whatever's on the portfolio level. And then they'll all work.